What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Sunshine Cup, and in today I am trying out Ice Fang Hippowdon in this Sunshine Cup meta. I found that this can really surprise opponents, and having an ice type fast move while also having access to Rock Weather Ball to hit the fire types and Scorching Sands to hit the fire types that are not Talonflame has really been effective in this cup so far. I'm running Swampert as the safe swap in this team with Sludge and Hydro Cannon, and then I have Credilli in the back to be a really solid response to any opposing Mud Boys, and Swampert is also a good response to fire types as well. So this team got me a good number of wins and allowed me to continue to climb, and so I'm going to showcase some battles here. As always, if you enjoyed these videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what team you have been enjoying in the Sunshine Cup, and let's get right into these games here. So Ice Fang Hippowdon into Shadow Magmar. So this thing does have access to Karate Chop, but you see my opponent swap out so quickly there. Most people are not expecting Ice Fang on Hippowdon. If you are running Sand Attack as the fast move, Hippowdon obviously has tons of great play against the fire types, and so a lot of my opponents just hard swapped before they even saw what fast move I had, which allowed me to get a pretty good advantage here. Credilli into Furret starts getting a little bit uncomfortable, and again on PV Poke, the recommended charge move for Furret is Swift and Brick Break, specifically for this matchup, but as you will see, most opponents still just opt to go for Trailblaze so they can ramp up their Sucker Punch damage. Out comes Swampert into my Credilli, and I just go straight for the nuke there. I'm not messing around. This was a very positive team comp alignment for me, and we were able to maintain that the whole time. Hippowdon in the lead. This is the dream, because this entire team can hang with Hippowdon. Honestly, Credilli has the worst matchup, and you can see my opponent doesn't know what to do against this Hippowdon. I thought that what just came in was a Skeledirge, and so I did poor move timing there. It actually ended up being a Shadow Alolan Marowak here, so the Ice Fangs are resisted, but the Weather Ball does hit for some super effective damage. I got the final shield, and now I'm going to go into my Credilli because I can actually tank the moves here a little bit better than on my Swampert. They are able to get to another charge move here, but it's just a Bone Club. I survive it, and I'm trying to get to this Rock Tomb. The game lags, and then they're able to swap and catch on their Flygon. Really frustrating. Again, I play on an iPhone 12, and for all of you iPhone users out there, one of the most frustrating glitch that still exists in this game is when like the bottom half of your screen just stops working. You can't do any fast moves, you can't do any charge moves, it just locks up while your opponent is continuing to do damage to you. So hopefully at some point that gets fixed, but we are still in this game, able to take out the Marowak, and in the back is the Talonflame. Swampert had so much value in that game there. Good game. Flygon lead again, and they are surprised by the Ice Fang. This opponent does go into Credilli, but I'm hitting super effective damage on the Credilli as well, and because they're running Acid, that is hitting me for resisted damage. So I'm staying in here because my Swampert still has play against the Flygon, and I want to get this thing in a lower health range. So I'm going to continue to chip away at it and then swap into my own Credilli. This way, because our switch clocks are so misaligned, if they want to get their Flygon on my Credilli, I will have energy to be able to throw a Grass Knot, and I can tank 2 moves from this opposing Credilli. They're going for the debuffs, makes sense. Now I go for the Grass Knot just in case my opponent wanted to get crazy there and catch it on their Flygon, but it knocks them out anyways. Out comes Flygon. We are barely able to get to a Grass Knot here. That's very good. Does massive damage despite being debuffed. Ice Fang would destroy this Flygon here. Gonna bring out my Hippowdon, snipe it down. In the back is a Swampert. I can just go straight for the Scorching Sands here. They let that go through, and actually I'm just going to stay in here and pressure with fast moves. So I'm going to shield this, And at this point, I'm recognizing that the Ice Fangs are doing enough damage. This is just going to be a fast move win. And now I can just mud shot down with my opposing Swampert. And we will be able to take this game there. The Hippo putting in so much work against that team. Mad Cargo lead. Okay, but do they know that I have Ice Fang? Again, they immediately swap out because they just assume that I'm running Sand Attack. Obviously, after this video, this is no longer going to be a surprise. So most fire types now in my battles have been staying in the lead, which makes sense. But this surprise attack was really, really fun with the Hippo. I get denied a turn there, even though I swapped after I threw a charge move, which is really unfortunate, so I don't get that acid through. But they don't reach another charge move anyway, so it doesn't make a huge deal. Out comes Mad Cargo again. And I'm going to go for the Rock Tomb, able to hit for super effective damage here. And able to reach another Rock Tomb. Down goes the Mad Cargo, and in the back is a Swampert. So this is kind of awkward. Because they only have one Pokemon left, I'm just going for Rock Tomb. Even if they no-shield this, which would be crazy, but they do anyways, I'm recognizing that I can still just do tons of Ice Fang damage to this Swampert. But this is making this extremely uncomfortable. I bring in my Hippo. And I'm going to catch a Hydro on my own Swampert here. And again, this is just turning into a fast move game, but I'm forcing them to throw as quickly as possible, so they are not able to build up enough energy to take out both my Pokemon there. Good game. Blaziken in the lead. Another fire type in the lead. And Blaziken has been everywhere in this meta, and it's been really tough to deal with. I tell you what, I have had no success with Blaziken when I tried running it, but my opponents have been doing very well against me. So against this, you do have to stay in, do whatever chip damage you can get, and then just sacrifice your lead and guarantee that the Credilli doesn't have to see that in the back. Out comes a Water Gun Shadow Quagsire. I've been seeing so many Water Gun Quagsire so far, and they've also been extremely awkward to deal with. Now, whatever's in the back is most likely going to be a really good answer to my Swampert because they led that Blaziken. So this is going to be a little bit scary. I can shield this up. Oh, I actually let this go through. I know that their Blaziken is really, really low. I want to be able to acid down this thing before it gets to another move. And I don't think they're quite at an Aqua Tail yet, but out comes Furret. This is just such an awkward scenario that I'm in here because that Blaziken most likely has a move, but I am going to eat so much damage from this Furret here. All they have to do is burn my final shield, and then they can snipe me with Blaziken. So at this point, this game is already over. I'm just hoping that my opponent makes some sort of a mistake and I'm able to capitalize on this, but Furret is so good in this cup. Out comes the Blaziken. They're able to get to this Blaze Kick and knock me out. And they actually didn't have a hard counter to Swampert in the back, but that Quagsire was really difficult to deal with. So against opposing Swamperts in the lead, I immediately go into my own Swampert. I let this first Hydro Cannon go through, and then they come in with Furret. Because if I can get a energy advantage with my Hippo, then I'm going to be able to chip that Swampert. And they totally sack their Furret, and they bring their Swampert back in. I cannot believe that. Now I have my Credilli aligned with their Swampert, but they have such a huge energy advantage. I'm going to shield up this first Hydro. And I'm hoping that whatever's in the back, my Hippo has some play. Because this Swampert is really going to be a menace. I am just going to commit to the Grass Knot here, hoping that they might think that I'm baiting. And it does go through. In the back is an Ice Fang Hippowdon, their own Hippo. I go for the Rock Tomb. I do get a shield. Now they are debuffed. And at this point in time, my Ice Fangs are doing way more damage than theirs are. And this is just a weather ball, but I'm going to keep as much health as I can get. I need more Ice Fang damage. This also is just going to be a weather ball, and then I should be able to farm them down and take this game there. I can't believe they completely sacked their Furret in that match. Flygon lead. This is the dream. Out comes a Blaziken, and Blaziken takes 7 fast moves to get to the first Blaze Kick and then 6 to get to the next one. So as long as you're not super slow with your Swampert, you will always be able to comfortably maintain this matchup. So I am over farming, but it actually looks like in the 2 shield they might be able to counter down here, and that is what my opponent is going to do. So Blaziken able to win the Swampert matchup in that 2 shield damage just because of how strong counter is. I bring out my Hippowdon. Luckily I don't get denied. I shield up Stone Edge, which was resisted, but it still would have hit for a lot of damage. In the back is a Furret. I'm going to be able to chip this with Scorching Sands. Ideally, if I can catch a Trailblaze on my Credilli, that's really good. Gonna make the catch right there, and this is most likely a Trailblaze. In the back is a Flygon. Kind of awkward scenario here. They're going to be able to reach a Dragon Tail before I can get to a Grass Knot or a Dragon Claw. And gonna throw this Grass Knot. This is not going to one-shot the Flygon. It only hits for neutral, even though Flygon is so glassy. It does do a lot of damage. I should be able to Ice Fang this down. And out comes their Furret. I'm able to reach this Weather Ball to take out this Furret and take the game there. Good game. Tricky scenarios in those matchups. Hippowdon into Quagsire. Okay, what is the fast move? It is Mud Shot. And so I once again go into my Swampert here. Quagsire definitely has more bulk than Swampert, but Hydro Cannons from Swampert just hit for so much more neutral damage. But again, this Quagsire just puts us in an awkward scenario because they actually outpace by 1 fast move. So I'm forced to throw my Hydro Cannon once again. And I am going to actually let this go, and then I'm hoping that I can farm down and get an energy advantage of whatever they have in the back. Hopefully whatever they have in the back does not also beat my Hippowdon. I'm running Ice Fang. They come out with Furret. And so once again, I'm going to go for the big move here and then potentially try to catch a Trailblaze on my... actually just immediately go for the swap there. Their attack has been dropped. They go for the Trailblaze to ramp it up again. What do they have in the back? I'm assuming because they led Quagsire that Credilli might not have very much play in the back. It could be a Fire type though. And it is a Fire type. So I'm going to go for these 2 Rock Tombs here. Debuff their attack. I throw 2 fast moves before I queue up the Rock Tomb. Is my Switch Clock up? Can I get out of here before I get farmed down? I swap right there. I just need to be able to make it to a Rock Weather Ball, which I can. Rock Tomb would be resisted here, but they do go for Overheat, so nice play. They committed to their win condition, and we are able to take that game there. Good game. Another Flygon. Flygon's very popular. We love to see it in the lead, that's for sure. And they are stunned by the Ice Fang. They take so much damage. This was a big misplay here. I keep making this mistake against Piloswines, thinking that Rock Weather Ball is going to hit for super effective damage, but it only hits for neutral. And I really should have just gone straight into my Swampert. Now I'm down a shield, and this Piloswine is just putting on a clinic here. These Icicle Spears do so much damage. I think I might have even lost a fast move when I swapped. But out comes Flygon, and they do throw their energy, so I'm not able to reach another Hydro Cannon here. That's okay. Again, my Ice Fang damage is really going to melt this Flygon, but I know that the switch clocks are misaligned. I wait out my clock, bring out the Hippo. In the back is a Blaziken. This is terrible. I go into my Credilla here, and luckily I am able to hit for neutral damage, but I have the same pacing to my fast moves that Blaziken has to theirs, and this is just really, really bad. Blaziken is always going to win the CMP tie in this scenario. I go for the Rock Tomb. It obviously gets shielded up, and they are doing so much damage with their counter. They actually throw their energy here. I think they might have been able to commit to a counter down, but it doesn't matter. There's no way I'm going to be able to reach a Weather Ball before I get farmed down here. I actually do somehow reach this Weather Ball, and the Flygon is able to take me out. Well played to my opponent, overcoming that really difficult lead. Another Flygon in the lead. This is right where we want to see it. And they immediately go into their Furret. Furret is such a common safe swap. It really makes me want to run like a really hard punish to Furret in the back. But Furret is just so neutral in a lot of these matchups. I do catch the Trailblaze on my Credilli, but this is still such an awkward health range to handle this Furret. And I think at this point in time, I started to recognize that against Flygon leads, I actually don't need switch advantage. I just need shield advantage or to be able to get like an energy head start on something. Well, that's the worst case scenario right there. Furret farms me down. Really, really bad. I bring out the Hippo, and I'm hoping that my Hippo will still have play against what's in the back. Luckily, it's just a Swift. My Swampert still has play against their Flygon. It's actually a Talonflame in the back. So this will give me a shield advantage, and then my Swampert can totally hang with their Flygon. So going to be able to throw these Hydro Cannons here, but it's a normal Flygon, and I'm a normal Swampert. So again, kind of an awkward health range to deal with here. But now I could potentially save both my shields. This is getting very uncomfortable here. All their shields are down. I'm going to throw my Hydro Cannon immediately in hopes that maybe I can potentially make another Hydro Cannon against the Talonflame. I should be able to survive the Incinerates. I do, and I'm able to reach the Hydro to knock out this Talon and take the game. Good game. Oh, man. Okay. Hippowdon into another Flygon. I know a lot of content creators have made videos on Flygon, so it is a extremely popular Pokemon right now. Water Gun, Shadow, Bibarel. Get a little bit of lag there. The Surf does a big chunk of damage. I'm farming up here, and I actually just commit to the Grass Knot. If they want to double shield, they can flip switch advantage, because I'm barely able to reach another Grass Knot here. They do double shield. If I went Rock Tomb, I don't know if it would have been able to KO, but there is a case to be made. I could have went for Rock Tomb. Swampert with an energy advantage is so powerful in this cup. I just go straight for the Sludge. I do not want to have to commit another shield in this matchup. If they bring out Flygon, shields are down. I immediately go back into my Hippo. It's their own Hippo in the back, so we're just going to be able to absolutely melt this Flygon. There is nowhere this Flygon can go. I just let this Weather Ball go through, resisted damage. The Ice Fang is really adding up on the Flygon. I just need to be able to reach a Hydro Cannon, but I could even Mudshot them down anyways and take that game. Good game. Swampert lead. We're going to immediately go into our own Swampert. We are behind by one turn because of the swap. Against Shadow Swampert, I do like shielding up this first Hydro Cannon just because it gets me so low. And it looks like my Mud Shots are really chunking their Swampert here. I'm wondering if they're missing a bulk point maybe in their IVs. But I let this Hydro go through. I barely survive, and they catch on a Credilli. This is okay. This still does really good neutral damage. Gonna bring out my Ice Fang Hippowdon now. And I'm thinking I can farm this all the way down. I really hope they go for Grass Knot. They do. That's really good for me. I'm barely able to farm them down. If they bring out Swampert, I can go straight for the Scorching Sands here and see what they want to do. They do end up shielding that. But I lose CMP in this matchup, which I should have recognized and caught that on my Credilli. But luckily in the back is a Talonflame, so I'm going to be able to one-shot this thing with Rock Tomb anyways, and then I just need to make sure that I can reach a Grass Knot before they're able to get 2 Hydro Cannons. And I am at the energy for Grass Knot, but I would lose the CMP tie. Do they have a second Hydro Cannon? No, they do not, and we are able to take that game there. Good game. I believe we have one more battle in the video here. Hippowdon into Amoonguss. I had no idea what moves this thing learned. It looks like it's running Astonish as the fast move. I think it gets access to Foul Play, like Sludge Bomb, and then a Grass type charge move as well. So I do end up just committing the first shield here. Look at the Ice Fang damage just going to town on this little mushroom here. He does end up shielding that. So at this point, I'm totally fine with double shielding, farming down, and then seeing what we want to do here. Grass Knot is that grass type charge move. In the back is a Gastrodon. Gonna throw the Scorching Sands here. They're hitting for neutral with Mud Slap. I'm still hitting for neutral with Ice Fang. And I'm able to reach another Scorching Sands here because they don't throw the Body Slam. They totally sacked the Gastrodon, and in the back is a Steelix. This is pretty much good game here. Swampert can easily clean this up, and then even then Credilli can clean this up in the end game as well. Dragon Tail Steelix. Dragon type damage is not really resisted by much in this cup, so that's a very interesting pick. Obviously weak to fire types and weak to Mud Boys as well, but you do have Earthquake that you can hit for a lot of damage. But we're going to be able to take this game. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Good luck with your battles, and I will see you in the next video.